Hi, I'm Adeline. I built my tech company from nothing but a laptop and determination. 7 years later, EverTech is valued at over $200 million. Not that you'd know it by looking at me in my comfortable jeans and simple blouse as I walked into Bellamy's that Tuesday afternoon. I was browsing their new collection of handbags when I noticed her. A tall blonde woman in a perfectly tailored suit, watching me from behind a display. Every time I moved to a different section, somehow she appeared nearby. Can I help you find something specific? Her voice was honey-coated ice. Just browsing, thanks. These start at $4,000. She gestured to the bag I was examining. I smiled politely. I'm aware. The craftsmanship is excellent. She introduced herself with a plastic smile. I'm Victoria, the store manager. We don't usually see many people like you in here. The implication hung in the air between us. People like me? Well, you know, our clientele tends to be more established. I picked up another bag. I'd like to try this one. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at one of our accessible sister stores. We can direct you. I'd like to see this bag, please. Victoria sighed dramatically. Look, I don't want to create a scene, but this store caters to a specific clientele. I'm going to have to ask you to leave. A young saleswoman with curly hair nearby nearly dropped the box she was holding. Her name tag read Zoe. But she hasn't done anything, Zoe said quietly. Victoria shot her a warning look. Not now, Zoe. I just don't understand why. It's all right, I said to Zoe. I was just leaving anyway. Victoria smiled triumphantly. Perhaps try the outlet mall on Highway 9. I walked out with my head high, but my hands were shaking. In my car, I took several deep breaths before calling Marcus. You won't believe what just happened. Let me guess. Another brilliant idea that's going to make us millions? Marcus laughed. No, I was just thrown out of Bellamy's. Wait, what? Why? Take a wild guess. Apparently, I don't look like I belong in their establishment. That's complete garbage. You should sue them. I'm thinking of something better. What do you know about Bellamy's? I could hear Marcus typing. Part of Lux International, high-end retail chain with about 15 locations nationwide, founded by Charles Bellamy 30 years ago. Any financial information? More typing. Interesting. They've been struggling since the pandemic. Stocks down 40% this year. Rumors of seeking new investors. Send me everything you can find. I want to know who's on their board, their debt structure, everything. Adeline, what are you thinking? I watched as Victoria escorted an older white couple into the store, all smiles and deference. I'm thinking it's time for a change in management. The next morning, I walked into Marcus's office with 2 coffee cups and a mission. He was already surrounded by printouts and had his dual monitors full of financial charts. You've been busy. Couldn't sleep after what you told me. This company has a serious image problem, but they're sitting on prime real estate and brand recognition. Their financial troubles are mostly self-inflicted. I picked up a report with Charles Bellamy's photo, a stern-faced man in his 60s with steel gray hair and a permanent scowl. What's his deal? Old money, old ideas. Started with 1 store, expanded to 15. He's got a reputation for being impossible to work with. 3 CFOs in the last 2 years. So he's struggling and difficult. That's a good start. What exactly are you planning here, Adeline? I'm not sure yet, but I want to know everything about how this company operates. Can we hire someone to look into their practices? 3 days later, I met with Samantha, a private investigator with experience in corporate cases. We sat in a quiet corner of my favorite cafe. What did you find? You were definitely not the first. I've documented 17 similar incidents across their stores in the last year alone, mostly people of color being followed, questioned, or asked to leave. Some pretty nasty stuff. She slid a folder across the table. Inside were testimonials, social media posts, and even a few recorded incidents. Any formal complaints? Several, but they get buried. Legal sends a gift card, makes them sign NDAs. My phone buzzed with an unknown number. Hello? Is this Adeline Williams? It's Zoe from Bellamy's. I don't know if you remember me. I remember. Are you okay? Not really. I've been wanting to quit since what happened with you. But I needed to tell someone what's going on. This isn't just Victoria. Our regional manager, Richard Hampton, literally has a memo about maintaining our clientele's comfort level. It's coded language for keeping certain people out. Would you be willing to share that memo? I already took pictures, but I could get fired. I'll protect your identity. I promise. After hanging up, I filled Marcus in. He whistled low. This is systemic. But what's the play here? A lawsuit would just result in another settlement and nothing changes. I'm meeting with Naomi this afternoon. Let's see what my financial advisor has to say. Naomi's downtown office was all glass and steel. She adjusted her glasses as she reviewed the files. Lux International is hemorrhaging cash. They've approached several investment groups already, but no takers. Too much baggage, too little innovation. What would it take to buy them outright? Naomi stared at me. You can't be serious. Dead serious. What's the number? She punched some calculations. Given their debt and current valuation, probably around $60 million. You'd need to liquidate a significant portion of your holdings. Worth it. They'd never sell to you after what happened. They won't know it's me. We're going to create a shell company, call it Phoenix Ventures. We'll approach them as an anonymous investment group. Marcus leaned forward. This is crazy. I love it. But Charles Bellamy will fight tooth and nail to maintain control. Not if we offer him a golden parachute. From what you've found, he cares more about his lifestyle than the company's future. You're really going to buy an entire company because one store manager was racist? No. I'm going to buy an entire company because racism is their business model. And I'm going to change that. 2 weeks later, Marcus walked into Charles Bellamy's corner office as the face of Phoenix Ventures. I watched the meeting through Marcus's hidden camera feed from a hotel room across the street. So, Phoenix Ventures appears out of nowhere with an interest in my company? Forgive me if I'm skeptical, Mr. Lewis. We specialize in retail revival. Your locations are prime real estate and the Bellamy name still carries weight. Charles leaned back in his leather chair. And what would you do with my company? Modernize, update inventory systems, expand digital presence, the usual turnaround strategy. While keeping me on as chairman, of course. That's not in our current plan. Charles frowned. This company bears my name. I've built it from nothing. And now it's losing $2 million a quarter. We're offering you a very generous exit package. Richard Hampton entered without knocking. His eyes narrowed at Marcus. Sorry to interrupt, but the quarterly numbers you requested, sir? Just leave them, Richard. Richard lingered. I ran a check on Phoenix Ventures, incorporated just 3 weeks ago. No previous investments. Seems unusual. My stomach tightened. I texted Marcus. Stay calm. Stick to the script. Marcus smiled. Our investment group values privacy. I'm happy to provide references from our financial backers. That won't be necessary, Charles waved Richard away, though I am entertaining other offers. Meanwhile, I met Zoe at a coffee shop far from any Bellamy's location. I brought something else you should see. Zoe slid a USB drive across the table. Employee evaluation forms. Richard marks down anyone who helps non-target customers. 3 negative marks and you're fired. This is unbelievable. Have you spoken with other employees? 4 so far, all willing to come forward if they're protected. My phone buzzed. Naomi. We've got a problem. Lux Equity Partners just made an offer for Lux International. How much? $55 million. Includes keeping Charles and the current management team. Counter with $65 million, full buyout, non-negotiable, and expedite the paperwork. 3 days later, Marcus and I sat in Naomi's office as she finalized the transfer agreements. Charles tried to get Lux Equity to match, but they wouldn't go higher than $60 million. He's not happy about losing control, but the shareholders forced his hand. What about the board? I asked. They'll receive their payout and step down. The golden parachute for Charles was the clincher, $10 million personal payout to walk away quietly. Marcus shook his head. Man, revenge is expensive. It's not just revenge. It's correction. Naomi looked up from her computer. Transfer complete. Congratulations. You now own Lux International and all 15 Bellamy's locations. Has anyone told the stores yet? Just that ownership has changed. The announcement of who exactly bought them is scheduled for tomorrow's company-wide meeting. I smiled. Perfect. I need to go shopping for the right outfit. Marcus laughed. Please tell me you're going to wear the exact same clothes you had on when Victoria kicked you out. Better. I'm going to wear the most expensive outfit in their store. I want to see their faces when they realize who their new boss is. What about Richard and Victoria? They've been specifically requested to attend the meeting. The regional managers will be there too. Are you nervous? No. For the first time since this started, I feel completely calm. Tomorrow, everything changes. The flagship Bellamy's store closed early for the ownership announcement. I arrived first, my heels clicking against the marble floors as I surveyed what was now mine. By 6 p.m., the store filled with employees. Victoria whispered with other managers near the front. Richard checked his watch repeatedly. Charles looked irritated at having to attend. Marcus entered first. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Lux International has been acquired. I'd like to introduce our CEO. I stepped out. Victoria's jaw dropped. Richard went pale. For those who don't know me, I'm Adeline Williams. Some of you might remember me as the woman Victoria threw out 3 weeks ago. I'm also the new owner of Lux International and every Bellamy's location. Victoria stepped forward. There must be some mistake. No mistake. Charles, would you confirm? Charles nodded stiffly. The sale is complete. My experience wasn't unique. We've documented dozens of similar incidents across your locations. Marcus started a slideshow of testimonials and internal memos. This memo is interesting. Richard, care to explain your clientele comfort policy? That's being taken out of context. We simply wanted to maintain our brand's exclusivity. By excluding people who look like me, this was racial profiling as company policy. If I've offended you, I sincerely apologize. I don't want your apology. It's about a systematic practice of discrimination you implemented. Victoria crossed her arms. I was just doing my job. And now I'm doing mine. Richard, Victoria, you're both terminated. Effective immediately. Charles stepped forward. You can't just... Actually, I can. The purchase agreement gives me complete control. Security appeared beside Richard and Victoria. Wait, this is ridiculous. Victoria protested. Is it? Zoe, how many employees have been penalized for helping non-target customers? Zoe stepped forward. At least 7 in this store alone. Starting today, Zoe will be your new store manager. Our first priority is inclusivity training. Charles shook his head. You've destroyed my legacy. No, you did that yourself. I'm saving your company's future. After the meeting, Zoe approached me. That was amazing. I never thought I'd see this place change. We're just getting started. How would you feel about helping develop our new customer service protocols? I've had ideas for months, but nobody would listen. Well, I'm listening now. 6 months later, I walked through the transformed Bellamy's. Sales were up 20% across all locations. Our diverse marketing campaign had gone viral. Marcus joined me. Not bad for a revenge plan. It was never just about revenge. It was about making something better. Still, seeing Victoria's face was priceless. The best part? She's now working at that outlet mall she recommended to me. We laughed as I ran my hand along the same handbags I'd been looking at the day everything changed. Was Adeline's revenge justified? Or did she go too far by spending $65 million to buy an entire company because of one discriminatory incident? What would you have done in her position? Fought back with your financial power, pursued legal action, or handled it differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more thought-provoking content about standing up to injustice in unexpected ways. New stories every day that will make you think, feel, and maybe even inspire you to take action in your own life.